So the Seattle Seahawks offense may have just been saved. So as we all know by now, the past couple of weeks have been absolutely terrible for Seahawks fans, especially with the releasing of Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf requesting a trade and then being traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then Geno Smith, after not willing to pay him $40 to $45 million, being traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. It's been rough. There hasn't been really much going for us on the offensive side of the ball lately in terms of signings until the past week or so, maybe 4 days. So the moment free agency started this past Monday, the Seattle Seahawks went out and signed quarterback Sam Darnold to a 3-year, $110 million deal, if I remember correctly on the money amount, which honestly is a very team-friendly deal, way less than Geno Smith was asking for. And he's a lot younger, and honestly, he did a lot better than Geno Smith last year, which is fine. If he can replicate that, we'll be in great hands. And people were kind of questioning, well, who's he going to throw to? We have JSN, and then like Jake Bobo, and then who else? And that's when we went and got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who is a 6'5", extremely fast wide receiver. He's kind of going to be our like DK Metcalf replacement because he's tall, the tall outside receiver, which is fine. 1 year, $5.5 million deal, nothing too special. But yesterday, as of recording, the Seattle Seahawks made the splash signing of getting Cooper Kupp for 3 years, $45 million. The Seahawks, one of their arch nemesis, that's how you say that word, from the LA Rams, comes back home to the state of Washington, where he's from, specifically Yakima, Washington, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, to play for the Seattle Seahawks. And this is probably the signing of the offseason for the Seahawks. Getting a guy like Cooper Kupp, who can not only play in the slot, but outside as well, alongside Jackson Smith and Jigba, is a lethal, and I mean that in all sense of the word, a lethal wide receiver duo that I think is going to turn a lot of heads in the NFC or just the league in general. Now, a lot of people have their doubts because they're like, well, JSN only plays in the slot, and the Seahawks just went and got another slot receiver. So why would they do that? Well, that's what I said earlier. They both can play on the outside really, really well. And in Clint Kubiak's new offensive scheme, he does a lot of 12 or 21 personnel, meaning you only need 2 receivers on the field, and that's usually going to be Cooper Kupp at, I think he might be our wide receiver too, and then JSN at 1. I'm sure they can interchange. They're actually very similar in play so far, so I'm very excited to see that. But yeah, I think we have a lot of things going for us. The only thing we really need to address now is that abysmal offensive line, which I think will help us, will be helped tremendously from the draft. Because if I remember right, we have about 10 to 13 draft picks, 5 of which being in the top 100, which is incredible capital. It gives us a lot of time to get a bunch of skill players, maybe some depth pieces, and then obviously the O-line. That should be our main focus, and even a quarterback for the future after Sam Darnold's playing time is over with the Seattle Seahawks, if we do decide to move on from him in the future. But there's something a lot to look forward to. The Seahawks are also meeting with the top remaining, I'd say, free agent O-lineman right now, Tevin Jenkins. I think he's on the Chicago Bears. We are meeting with him on Monday. So hopefully, if we can get that signing going, our offensive line will be bolstered even further, which we need that so bad if Sam Darnold is going to be able to throw dimes and dots to Cooper Kupp and JSN. So people have their doubts, of course. You know, Seahawks been through this before when we traded Russ away. People said we were in contention for the number 1 overall pick, going 2-15 or 3-14. And that's the same thing happening here again. We traded away our quarterback, a lot of our popular, well-known star players, and now we're in seemingly rebuild, but I call it more of a reshuffle. And I say there's a lot to look forward to, and I do think we will absolutely be contenders in the NFC, or just the NFC West at the very least. I do still think we have a legitimate chance to win the division. Just got to get past those pesky Rams, and the Niners are losing everybody, so I don't know what their situation is going to be. And then the Cardinals are the Cardinals. They haven't beaten us in 3 years. I don't want that to change. I probably just jinxed us, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, once again, there's a lot to look forward to. I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely hopeful and optimistic as I try to be through the offseason. And there's still a lot of time left for this team to develop, practice, get its head right, because we still got 5-6 months until we play some actual football that matters. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that. New offensive scheme, just an entire new offensive philosophy for this team, and just new names in general. It's extremely exciting, extremely refreshing. It sucks to see some of our players go, but that's football, that's sports. At the end of the day, it's a business, and we're making money off of it. We're saving money, I should say. So, yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Just another short one after the DeMarcus Lawrence video. And, yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one.